People want to know who is the fastest man.
The great ones thrive on that moment.
You always want to be the fastest on the block.
When the gun goes off, you forgot. Faster than any other human being before him.
The Spanish League is on beIN Sports. Atletico Madrid is showing one of the best forms in recent years. However, they are 11 points behind the leader, Barcelona. True in its convictions, they will host Levante, who needs to return to the path of victory. Atletico Madrid, Levante, Sunday, only on beIN Sport.
Hi, I'm Zlatan Ibrahimovic from PSG. Watch the French League on beIN Sports. Are you in?
The Spanish League begins its second half of the season on beIN Sport. Valencia seems to have recovered its shape. After 3 wins in a row, they are looking to reach the European Cup zone. They host Real Madrid, who is far away from the leader Barcelona and needs to get a win to regain their confidence. Valencia, Real Madrid, Sunday, only on beIN Sport.
The referees back out onto the pitch. They've done well in what could be a rather ill-tempered game. Peru as well has responded. For Brazil, I guess still a waiting game. And when you've won 11 of these, maybe it's, what do they say about the NBA Finals? Just watch the last 20 seconds of Game 7. Maybe Brazil saving it to the very end, but they might run out of time because now, to assure themselves a ticket into the next round, they need 2 goals to even have any hope. They need 1, and they need to shut down a Peru squad that was unfortunate not to put 2 more in the net.
Listen, at the end of the day, it's Brazil, and Brazil are capable of absolutely anything. But what we've seen on the field is the lack of desire, the lack of self-belief from a Brazilian team, which is not normal for us all to see. And of course, there's a lot of pressure on their shoulders. Well, let's take nothing away from the fact that Peru have played some wonderful football and deservedly went into the break with a 1-0 lead.
Well, the desire might be there, but the self-belief, absolutely not. Take a look at this. This is a Peru squad that's normally used to working the ball forward. Well, they found the expressway, and it goes right through Jordi Reina. The kid from Chiclayo almost had 2 more of these. And as you pointed out, that is a run that Mito Klose, Pipo Inzaghi, world-class players would be proud to call their own.
Absolutely fantastic. It's wonderful skill. But for me, it's bad defending from Brazil. They already know they're going up against speedsters. You know, Gomez is another one. Benavente, Reina, players who are loving to get in behind that defense with their pace. And you cannot play such a high line, especially when there's that lack of communication between.
Still waiting to find out who, but it does look as though there will be a couple of substitutes when the second half gets underway. At the start of this tournament, Mateus, remember him from that Bebeto rocking the cradle celebration in World Cup 1994? Well, he didn't even start today on the bench. He is available. Adjamilson, Adrian, both of them also available. So there is some firepower there, and it does look like Adrian will be one of the first ones called. See who's going to be coming out. Adrian and Mateus. So the 2 youngsters. Adrian, the 18-year-old out of Flamengo, and Mateus Oliveira, Bebeto Jr., the 18-year-old also out of Flamengo.
Well, I'm not surprised to see a couple of changes into the Brazilian lineup. There's no doubt that the coach had to make a change and give his team a little bit of a boost. There's a lot to play for. Still 45 minutes ahead of you, but this is what it's all about. It's now or never for Brazil.
1 point to consider as well. Mateus is carrying a yellow card. Coming out, Leandro, who had one of his own in the first half. Adrian, a little bit more of a inside left. Maybe less likely to get in Bruno Mendes' way. Let's see if Bruno Mendes is still out there. I can't imagine him taking out Felipe Anderson, but that is what they're going to do. Taking out the Santos star and sticking in Mateus. Mateus did help Brazil score their first goal in this tournament against Ecuador, although he wasn't credited. A flurry of action in the box, takes the shot, bounces off the keeper, off a defender and in. So he doesn't get credit, but he did create the opportunity. For Adrian, he's been one of those to show a bit of trickery, but yet to really be rewarded. Again, mention the fact that if they do advance, if they get another yellow card, Mateus, Esmilson, Fred, Mansour, the keeper Luis Gustavo, and Igor Juliao, all on yellow card tender hooks. Arteaga, Barrios, and Cedron, all on the Peruvian bench, while Cartagena and Campos both getting yellows in the first half. Just underway, Brazil driving in towards the Peru net. Phil Shane, Ian Joy with you. Glad you could join us. Mansour forward for Adrian, his first touch. Mendes tries to turn, and as he does, he scoops it away. I think they're going to call dangerous play, but that actually helped Peru.
Well, it's an unfortunate finish for Brazil after a wonderful attack. Great free-flowing football. And it's a wonderful piece of skill to get in behind this defense. But the final contact, the final delivery, that little bit special, is always lacking in the first 45 minutes, and they've taken it into the second. But it's a much better and more positive outlook from Brazil.
Again, remember, only 3 men in the back for Peru, and a chance here for Adrian. Ridden off by Araujo, and he couldn't get much on it. Angelo Campos there to gobble up the garbage.
Well, what an opportunity, and what a beginning for Brazil into the second half. Great skill and a wonderful chance for Adrian in front of goal again. Do something special.
Marco Ortiz, the center back, who is actually coming over to cover, that pays the price. There, just in time.
Well, in the end, Ortiz does ever so well to make contact with Adrian. Not quite sure what he's gone over with. That's good defending.
Don't forget, be in sport tomorrow. Action starting at 10. Derby against Forest. And then at noon, Real Sociedad against Barcelona. Be in sport, and Espanyol also will have action, including Granada versus Rayo Vallecano, Getafe Sevilla, Malaga Celta. Plenty of action. Check us out online. And a reminder that the first match of the next phase will be coming up on Sunday. And that'll be already locked in, Chile against Paraguay, and it will be a free broadcast, a free webcast streaming on beInSport.tv. Coming over to make sure his big man is okay, Angelo Campos. And that is a bit of a concern as he grabs for that knee. The Alianza keeper trying to console the Cristal defender. All for one, one for all. Well, we saw a bit of this in Brazil's last game, but I think this might even be a bit more intense. Can they keep it up for longer than 3 minutes, though? Again, as you saw at the half, if things end now, Peru would win the group. Uruguay and Ecuador would join them, and Brazil would join Venezuela, Argentina, and Bolivia on the way home. Worst part for Argentina is it's a very short trip as the hosts. Diego Chavez. Chavez switching over to the right flank. Interesting to see what's going on over on the left. And Araujo has switched. Well, they call that a foul against Jordi Reyna. Luan goes tumbling. Reyna's had a few of those, and he's awfully close to persistent infringement. Mateus, yes, he is named after Lothar. That was his dad's foe in '94, but obviously earned the respect. Peru coming down with it. They need some possession here, and that's been a part of the game that has eluded them with this 3-3-2-2 formation. They've gotten the goals, but it's been lightning quick.
Yeah, Brazil have started fantastically well in the second half and shown a different attitude towards the game, and of course they need to come out and score goals.
Good disguise to the inside for Benavente. Brazil going with Luis Gustavo de Almeida in net. Luan and Doria the center backs. Julião, who stepped in from game 2, and Mansour on the outside. Misael and Lucas Candido in the middle. Rafinha now joined by Adrian. Mateus in support of Bruno Mendes. A little bit more traditional 4-2-3-1, but still not that anchoring defensive midfielder that we're used to seeing. And for the Brazil system to work, tends to need those two center backs and the defensive midfielder to be the rocks and let everyone else attack. Mendes leading the line. Adrian giving some support. Here's Misael for Adrian, looking for the inside run. Mateus is open, left-footed shot, bangs off. It looked like his teammate Mendes back to midfield. Battling tooth and nail, and down goes Chavez. Emerson Avila shaking things up. Only one substitution left, maybe, in the tournament. Again, if this score holds, Peru advances. If Brazil comes back with 2 goals, they advance at Peru's expense. Chance for Benavente. Lifting it forward, bumped by Doria as he does, but no sympathy from Lustau, the Argentine referee. The interesting thing, Ian, comes if there is a draw. There is no 0-0 draw, so if there is a draw at this point, Brazil would benefit. If it's 1 goal, they would go into a tiebreaker, a coin flip, as everything would be tied between them and Ecuador. However, if they score 2 and Peru scores 1 more, or anything more than that, more than a 2-2 draw, both of these teams will advance. But that's still a long time away. Benavente sending that one high.
Well, Benavente needs to do a little bit better in possession of the ball in that final third. He's got the quality. Just showing signs a little bit tired in the competition, and it's difficult for these players. They've played a very grueling schedule. But for Brazil, I fully expect them to go on an all-out attack. They need to score goals. They're not looking for a tie, they're looking for a win. And there's always opportunity for Peru to add a second.
There is some talent, but more attacking-wise on the bench. The Belgian-based Ivan Bulos, Andy Polo. Right now, they need a little bit more help from the midfield. Adrian sneaks it across at the edge of the 6. Mendes towards the goal line and away. Drops it back, but anticipated well. It'll be a throw-in box high. They need more out of Mansour on this side. And really, Julião's been cut out on the right flank as well. Mansour towards the spot. Headed down, but straight to the hands of Campos. Ball flipped back into the middle by Luan. One thing Campos did that's going to hurt him. Already got 1 yellow card for delay in the first half, so that trick is not available for the rest of this match. Peru definitely cannot afford to go a man down against the champs. Gomez into the center, a little risky. Mateus challenging. Cartagena trying to spin it free, but only straight to Mendes. Driving in on Araujo. get a second crack. Rafinha sticking the wheels in Guarderas. Play on to the goal line, Misael. 5-on-5, but then a little help from Guarderas, who gets whistled for the foul. Thumbs up from the holding mid.
Well, Peru have to be careful. Game management is so vital right now. How you control the 1-0 lead. They're allowing Brazil to have a lot more possession.
There is a change. See who's coming out. Looks like it's going to be Jordi Reina, and that is a huge surprise. The one-man counterattack replaced by Jean Deza, the 19-year-old, already playing pro in Europe.
Well, I think more the tired legs than anything else for this talented individual, Reina. Absolutely fantastic. Star of the show tonight. Wonderful first half performance. And I think it's all the running, all the energy is taking its toll in the end with some tired legs. And a possible look into the future with the games coming ahead as Peru look to be in control of this game. Wonderful performance.
So Reina off. Never really had a chance to be a factor in the second half. And Deza, the 19-year-old out of Callao, looking to fill the gap. Launched to the edge of the 6. Solid defense and a chance, but they can't get there. Stepping up Julião. Benavente over on defense. Julião, not the trickiest, an honest defender. Glancing header down, looking for support. They'll get it. Quickly on the substitute. Plays in Slovakia for Selena. Ooh, sweeping his leg through was Doria. Another challenge by Mansour. And Lustau looks like he's going to try and calm the waters a bit here.
Well, I fully expected to get heated now with so much at stake. Both of these teams going into challenges 100%, and that is a two-footed challenge. I tell you what, he's lucky to escape going in the referee's book there.
11 minutes into the second half. Brazil has turned up the heat. Peru yet to wilt. They need to do something to keep them honest. Rafinha to the inside. Misael. Little heel flick. Guarderas, another chance, but clipped over by Mateus. Guarderas launches himself in, and finally on the third crack meets the ball, but sends it out. Another Brazilian throw. Bruno Mendes, pocket picked and well played by Gomez. Another player from the port city of Callao, as is the substitute Deza. Deza already over 30 first-team appearances in Slovakia with a couple of goals. Little launch into the middle. Flores wide. You can see Luan looking for help. Deza spins to the inside, gets hooked. Maybe drawing the contact, but still a chance for Peru to kill some clock.
Yeah, this is great play from Deza because he's not going anywhere. He's drawing on the foul, he's looking for the referee's whistle, and he gets it. That's a great piece of skill. And for Brazil, it's a silly foul to concede in a dangerous area, and it gives Peru another opportunity to attack. And we've seen so little of it in the second half with Peru going forward, and now with Reina off the field. That little speedster's not there. Maybe a little bit more direct with the more larger Deza.
Only 3 red shirts in the box, and he still finds one of them, but Araujo can't get much on it. Quality serve from Benavente. Well, Peru didn't want to throw too much upfield. Ortiz. Acrobatics from Mansour, and a gap in the middle. Mateus behind Julião, who again almost gets dispossessed. And Estrosa playing some defense over on that far flank. Good control Upfield is Peru. That time, Pasa surrenders too easily. Now trying to win it back. Mansour sneaks it forward, but poorly controlled by Adrian. It's Ortiz, the center back, charging up the middle. Wants it back. Flores tries to cut away and does.
It's good football from Flores, keeping possession of the ball, so important for Peru.
And again, it's Peru that's putting on the tricks, not Brazil. Benavente just left it out there, lunging in, but no contact. Another sloppy pass in the middle, a chance for Peru. Doria drawn out. Wide to the near side. Pasa again one-on-one, and he almost goes around Mansour, but good defense by the Vitoria man. Made the move from neighboring Bahia in the offseason.
Well, now the skill and all the tricks are coming out for Peru, and quite rightly so, in control of this game and look very comfortable. It's going to take a big, massive error for them to let this one slip out of their grasp, but you could never, ever rule the Brazilians out.
Little collision. Got to find a teammate. Instead, he's decked. Igor Julião a little too Igor on that challenge.
That's his great skill from Inostroza, just to keep possession of the ball with 3 players around you. And again, he dupes the referee into blowing his whistle, and rightly so. Good decision from the ref.
Good vision from Inostroza. A little too much battle from Flores. Flores already over at Villarreal on their B squad. Plucked away from Universitario. Again, Mansour. And that leaves this back wheel, the back spot open. Charging forward is Chavez. Back for Benavente. Into the area. Benavente. Woodwork still in the 18. Driven across and cleared away by Doria. Brazil hanging on for dear life. What skill, but nothing to show for it. And now Rafinha to the area. Out comes Campos. Back is Gomez. Adrian under pressure, and he'll be whistled for the foul. Take another look.
Well, what an opportunity, and it's slack defending from Brazil to give away possession of the ball. And as Mansour gives up possession, it's a great one to Benavente with the skill and composure in the box. And that's wonderful, but just unfortunate that it strikes the far post. And Doria does well to get back on the goal line and clear the danger. But great skill. And talk about pace and believing in yourself going forward. The Peruvians have showed fantastic skill on the ball, but also the composure, and really deserve to be 2-0 in front.
To be a little harsh, maybe you could say Pasa should have been on his toes, caught a bit flat-footed, and by the time the ball got to him, the defense had recovered. The other point, a little smaller, the hair a lot longer, especially now, but a little messidoso in Christian Benavente. Wonder if we'll get the chance to see him make the move up from the Castilla. Of course, don't forget, we do have the second division from Spain here on beIN Sport, and I have a feeling with skills that he's putting on display, Benavente will be prominent on the Castilla down the stretch. Again, his father, a futsal player in Spain, his mother, a national team volleyball player from Peru, a born athlete, and he's definitely got the skill. Arguably the most talented player on the pitch.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. And you've got to say that Peru really have put on a show tonight.
Here they come again. It's Pasa, the Slovakian-based player. No friendly port this time for the kid from Callao.
When we talk about the quality and what they've shown so far, Peru, they've only got 1 goal to show for it, and that's a very dangerous scoreline going up against Brazil.
Little collision, but the foot came up. Mention Peru taking on Ecuador. Had the lead with just over 10 minutes left to go, and that would have clinched a spot in the final stage. But 2 goals in a 4-minute span allowed. And you know, if Ecuador can do it, Brazil can, even this Brazil. Guarderas couldn't quite win it back. Again, Mansour flying forward, throwing his body in, and he's going to pay the price here. Mansour maybe in pain, but definitely a card coming. Chavez in the book. He had one to give, though. Again, Campos, Cartagena, and then Arteaga and Barrios on the bench in danger of being suspended in the next phase. Of course, they might not be a next phase for Peru if they don't hang on.
Well, this is important. This is an opportunity for Brazil. Get Doria up front, get Luan up front, and really put a quality service in and give those something to attack. They need to have quality service. And so far, it's been lacking from the Brazilian team.
Mansour is there, but it's Adrian. Launching it into the 6, just over Mendez. Little high on the delivery, but by a few millimeters. Punched away nicely by Campos, and here comes another break. A slide by Julião. Pleading for a handball is Deza. Let's see what they're going to call. Maybe just a throw.
Well, initially I thought it was handball. He has given the throw. But great skill, and that's what it's all about. A ton of pace breaking forward.
Yellow against Chavez on that last collision with Mansour. Another chance turning the corner. Deza flipping it up. Doria coming over. Punched away by Gustavo, but they're going to say it had crossed, and it was already a goal kick. Not sure what the Brazilian keeper was looking at.
Well, what an opportunity. And this is good defending this time. Doria steps up to the challenge.
Well, just to be safe, Gustavo slapping it away, and Brazil launching it upfield. Hanging around for Araujo, but he can't keep it in play. You're almost hesitant a bit to criticize this Brazil, because you know there's a lot of pride on the line. However, what we are saying pales in comparison to what the Brazilian fans and Brazilian press are saying about this team. You can say there's no Neymar, there's no Oscar, there's no Lucas, but no one has stepped up on this team.
Listen, when you pick up that shirt and you represent that country, you're expected to perform to the best of your abilities and shine. The country awaits you, but so far what Brazil have produced has not been good enough.
The spin takes it away from Chavez, coming with it Adrian, and a little lean. The foul calls going Brazil's way, but Peru has to stay focused. There wasn't much there, maybe the tangle on the ground.
That's wonderful skill. Adrian just going through. It's great skill and possession of the ball, and deservedly winning that free kick. But you're going to start to see the gamesmanship coming into play now as Peru go down to ground, waste some time. That's going to be an important factor.
Chavez, who set up the only goal of this match with a beautiful 50-yard pass into space to beat Doria and company. He is down on the ground. 19-year-old from Ica down in southern Peru. That's the agricultural region near the Nazca lines. Might even put another drawing in the desert of Benavente if they can hold on here. Midway through the second substitution. Chavez will come out. Now he's got a yellow, and I don't think they want to risk going a man down. So maybe a little bit more situational as Torrejon checks in.
It's never a good time to make a substitution though on free kicks and corner kicks like that.
Missed assignments. 5 men near the area wearing yellow. Adrian on a second effort, whipping it in, and a wasted effort. Angelo Campos could have had time for a nap and still gotten that one.
Well, there's that quality that we're talking about that's been lacking from Brazil. And 2 opportunities in quick succession to really put quality service into the box, and it doesn't appear.
Again in the midfield. Torrejon, by the way, 19-year-old out of Sporting Cristal. Born in Lima, about 5'9". But let's see what he's got in his boots, far side. Edwin Alexi Gomez. I don't think Alexi could do that. Ole is coming from the Peruvian crowd as Guarderas takes it to the corner. Plays it off of Misael. Smart play by the midfielder. Corner kick Peru.
Look at the skill, the dancing, the technique. The Peruvians are enjoying themselves. It's wonderful football. The movement, off the ball movement. And really, it's all been there for Peru today.
You'd swear they switched uniforms.
Absolutely fantastic football and a joy to watch.
From the corner, again, just swinging it out. 3-3-2-2, different angles on the ball. Glancing header to the back, and Araujo will get a chance to track it down. but couldn't keep it in play. Good pressure, Mansour.
I wouldn't be surprised if they switched to 4 at the back going through the closing stages of this game, Peru.
Cartagena sliding over a little bit to provide some cover. Let's see if they do. You can see they pushed Flores up. He's still got the wheels. They pulled Yori Reina, and he didn't do much in the second half. Maybe that was why. Might have been gassed. They've been playing every other day in temperatures approaching 100. There's a good look at Torrejon. Made his professional debut and helped Sporting win the championship this past season. On the turn, Flores almost falls for Benavente, only to midfield. With Cartagena as he's moved back to the center. The substitute Deza taking on 2. Deza on his left. Deza, a deflected shot that will take it out for a corner.
Oh, great skill and wonderful attitude from Deza to break through. The substitute showing a great turn of pace. Really, it's a wonderful challenge in the end to clear the danger from the Brazilians. But Peru are shining. They're playing some pretty football, and they've not given up hope of scoring a second.
If they do, Brazil would need 2 goals. Of course, at that point, they would advance automatically. Ecuador, perhaps the most eager viewer of this match. Near post, almost on the doorstep. Brazil lets it bounce, and Araujo somehow sends it over the bar.
Well, slack defending once again to allow Araujo to make contact with that ball, but he's got to finish it. He's got to put it in the back of the net. And Mansour, no excuses as that defender. You've got to pick up your men.
Will that cost Peru? 2 goals allowed in a 4-minute span that made this game vital. Hard challenge and a call from the ref, and it looks like this will be a yellow card. Mateus, and that means if Brazil does advance, he will miss the first match.
Well, it's a late challenge from Mateus, and there's no excuses for this one. Really late challenge, and he's very fortunate that he doesn't pick up a red card for that challenge.
Again, the first match of the final round. It will be 6 teams, round robin, just like the CONCACAF World Cup qualifying. 6-match round robin. Top 4 will qualify for Turkey. First match, Chile against Paraguay. That's already locked in. And you can watch that on beInSport.tv, a free web stream, as we debut that on beInSport.tv. Approaching the final quarter hour, bouncing, Mendez giving chase. A little casual as Ortiz, but he comes away with it and just plays it into touch. Mendez hoping for a foul. Peru, I make that Brazil cannot wait for him to get up. Time running out. A hook tackle. Maybe more man than ball. Let's see if there's going to be a card for this, but making sure it's in the exact spot, Lustau. Close.
Well, you see the referee starting to make a big impact in this game, and I wouldn't be surprised if he pulls out the red card before the end of the game.
Peru
Challenges
better
are
watch
going to
out.
fly in. Absolutely.
And again, it doesn't sound like much. You'd normally think an Argentine ref would be criticized for going against Brazil, but sometimes maybe they overcompensate. And regardless, Lustau has had an impeccable match to this point. One-man wall, 6 in the box, to the back post, and he misses the yellow jerseys. Chance on the break for Gomez, but then he dishes it back. Candido. Back for Julião. Launching it long under pressure, and it will carry. That forward pressure causing problems for Brazil.
Absolutely. No time in possession of the ball, but it's also the lack of creation. Really, they've enjoyed possession defensively and in midfield. But again, it's a simple swipe of the ball to get it away from danger. And there's no idea behind the pass. It's just a hopeful ball forward. Not used to seeing that from Brazil.
Benavente strips him. Benavente waiting for a foul, but Mateus plays him even smarter. Good work by the kid. And all eyes on him and Rafinha. Of course, Massinho and Romario, the other 2 players that celebrated with Bebeto. Rafinha, one of those babies. Romario's son, by the way, about to make his professional debut for Brasilense this weekend. Who knows, if Brazil somehow manages a miracle, he might have a chance. But a miracle it would be. Adrian. Mateus with the left. Didn't have the opening, tried to pass to Rafinha. Cleared by Peru. Flipping it, Deza, that's going to stay in play. Deza with Flores in the middle, trailing Benavente. Deza poked away. Without vision, he perishes. Maybe playing for a foul when a simple drop pass might have closed the door. Launched forward, Adrian, but cleared away by Ortiz. Back wide, Adrian again, the Fluminense youngster, top of the box, Rafinha. Plays it back for Mateus. Mateus driven through, deflected, and wide for a corner.
Well, wonderful stuff. It's absolutely fantastic football from both sides going forward. And it's all about that composure in the box to stick the ball in the back of the net. A little bit too slow from Peru in the final third on the last opportunity, but Brazil are really coming back, digging deep to try and create something.
Take a look at this. Beautiful move. But he had to know there was trailing support.
Well, it's all about that composure and vision. But he's got one thought in his mind as he gets towards the box, and he's put his head back towards ground. And then you lose that concentration, allowing Doria back in to make the challenge.
Saw the frustration from Benavente. Mendes, will he be sacrificed at the altar? Peru risking things a bit here. Hernan Inestrosa going down, the Belgian-based youngster. As you mentioned, a bit of gamesmanship. Maybe there is an injury there, but at least for the moment, Peru down to 10 men. They will make the switch right away, though. Final substitution for Peru, and it's going to be Raciel Garcia, the 18-year-old out of San Martin. Surprising champions a few years back. An outswinger from Brazil. Over to Doria, punched away by Campos, and a foul on the follow.
That's wonderful goalkeeping from Campos to come out. There's a big challenge from Doria, who goes in full force, arms, body, everything's up there to challenge a goalkeeper. But it's great goalkeeping as he clears the danger and takes the brunt end in the head. It really has been a fantastic leader for Peru today, and every defence needs a quality goalkeeper behind them. And look at that, eyes fixed on the ball, clears the danger. Quality defending.
Raciel Garcia, the player that just stepped on, came on a bit late in his career. Came in the year after San Martin won the championship, but actually played 14 games last season. They need a midfielder. Deza could have helped put this one away.
Yeah, he's been electric since he's come onto the field. Deza really made a big difference for Peru.
The one thing is, as Brazil throws more and more up, they're going to be more and more vulnerable. Peru cannot let them off the hook. Play on, advantage, says the referee. Wide for Guarderas, cuts back to the inside, gets it back on his right. Still a man down. Spun to the near side for Deza, isolated. Onside. Gomez, wrong foots the defender, cross to the back post, almost a shot, it might have been.
Well, unbelievable from Gomez, great piece of skill just to dupe that last defender. Comes in on his left-hand foot, and it's great skill. As he goes on his left, he fools the defender completely, and Doria's just not been at the races at all today. And that's unfortunate that the cross is just not good enough.
Now he's cramping up, but he doesn't go down. This is, again, remember, 90 degrees at kickoff, and that's actually been one of the cooler starts. It is winter in the north. It is summer in the west. Looks like there might be one more substitute for Brazil about to check in with a dozen left. Looks like it might be Ademilson, the number 9, who has started every match for Brazil. And it will be. Coming in for Lucas Candido, finally they take out a second holding midfielder to stick in an attacker, but is 12 minutes too little.
Was your last glimmer of hope, making a substitution and attacking one as well. It's a good one. Ademilson brings a lot of quality to this Brazilian side, but limited time right now.
18 years of age, already over 20 matches for Sao Paulo. And 03 joining with the rest of Brazil right now, praying for a miracle. The Rosary Beats working overtime. From the near side, Mansour. Adrian, who's definitely been an impact player since coming in, gets it back into the 18, drags it to the goal line and tackled away. That was dangerous. He was playing for a foul in the box. Peru holding off. They do surrender the corner.
Yeah, great defending from Cartagena, really at the last minute. We've not mentioned his name too many times tonight, but he's been absolutely rock solid for Peru. In the right place at the right time to clear the danger.
80th minute, an in-swinger towards Campos. They find ahead of Doria, but he can't turn it towards goal. Another opportunity for Deza. Pushes it into space. Now it's a foot race. Deza against Adjamilson. Deza to the inside, and Misael saves the day. Winning Araujo. Doria steps up. Mateus plays it back to take the pressure off. And again, think about how this tournament has progressed. Something simple as looking at the substitutes for Brazil today, Ian. The three guys who have come on in the second half, the number 7, the number 8, and the number 9. These are guys who are counted on to be starters at the start of this tournament. Here comes Campos, takes a boot, but holds on to the ball.
Well, absolutely. When things don't go your way, you find yourself out of the lineup very quickly. It's a wonderful opportunity. A quick look at it again. It's a close call from the linesman.
Give the edge to the defender, to the attacker. That's the way it's supposed to be. No argument from Peru. Another chance, 2 against 5. Fighting off is Flores. Down he goes. Foul called, and a chance for Peru again. The sand ticking through the hourglass. Keep it quiet, says the referee. Doria with the hook.
That's not really much in a challenge from Doria. I've been disappointed with the big man myself tonight. Really an outstanding player, but just not shined. And that's difficult when you're Brazil. You're expected to be a leader in that squad, and the quality has been lacking.
Again, we are now 10 minutes away, plus or minus a couple. Argentina and Brazil both being eliminated in the group stage. Remember, in the entire 25 tournament history, there had never been an occasion where both sides were winless after 2. So this is historic. 82nd minute. Driving it in, Benavente. Ball bounces back to midfield. Standing strong, Araujo. Benavente again, the Real Madrid youngster. Spins through 2, but it falls for Mateus. Misael trying to start something, gets it back. Man has the heart of a lion. Just not quite the skill of Neymar. Does win a corner, though. Well played against the substitute Torrejon.
Well, you're absolutely right, Phil. Really, to see those two teams out of the competition would be absolutely remarkable. We can only tell of our own national team, the US under-23 team, not making the Olympics, how important it is for the youth structure to qualify.
83rd minute approaching, launching in near post. Goes over Mendes, still not out of danger. Adrian again drives it low. Well, again, there are 11 teams already qualified, counting the hosts, Turkey. Substitution coming in. And, or as he's saying, the ball was rolling. Both teams have already used their 3. And I think that's the question from Garcia. Maybe the referee saw someone near midfield, but quickly corrected of his ways. But again, 11 teams already in. Now a yellow for delay. Well, I'm confused. I can only imagine about Torrejon. The next qualifying after this one is over will be CONCACAF in Puebla. And just to give you an idea how serious the U.S. is taking it, Tab Ramos already has a camp in Puebla as we speak. They don't want to take this one for granted. Beautiful ball out wide. The substitute Garcia. Gomez up there for man of the match for Peru, but loses this one. After that, 4 more from Africa and the single Oceania qualifier, those coming up in March before Turkey 2013 gets underway for real. Rafinha under pressure. Mateus slips and has his pocket picked by Garcia. There is no talent gap today. Popping it forward in for Benavente. Soft pass. Is he on? Flores is. Doria comes over. In the box. Poked away by the big man from Botafogo. Throw in for Peru.
We're now starting to see those gaps appear in between this Brazilian defense as they get desperate to try and push on the attack.
U.S., by the way, in a different situation. The funny thing is, and we've talked about it earlier in this tournament, how difficult it is to qualify from South America. Get to that in a moment. Mansour with Adrian on the outside. And Adrian slips. It's been that kind of tournament.
Oh,
you got to feel for him.
Absolutely, Phil. It's that kind of tournament. When things don't go your way, they really do pour down on you. And you feel sorry for the youngsters of Brazil because of the pressure, the media pressure, the scrutiny that's going on in their own country, of the quality of the team. You do feel sorry for them, but they have been lacking so much desire. But you can't say the same for Peru, in full control of this game and deservedly sitting with that 1-0 lead.
And again, look at the way they cover the lanes. Benavente on the outlet again for Flores. Takes it inside, but then forgot something. They're going to call a foul here. It didn't look like much contact, but the referee saw enough.
Well, initial reaction is that this is not a foul against the big man, and there's no contact whatsoever as Benavente goes to ground.
The funny thing is, I think if he hadn't, he might have been in the box unmarked.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
Again, getting back to the qualifying while we have a second. In South America, you pretty much have to win 4 or 5 matches to get to the World Championship. In North America, which is kind of funny because on the senior side, they have a similar tournament with the hexagonal. In North America, they go to brackets at the under-20 level. You only have to win 1 match. You draw the first 2, you win the quarterfinal, you can get blown out the next 2. You still have a ticket. Benavente into the wall. Ball falls for Flores. Of course, sometimes that 1 win is harder to get than it appears. Less room for mistakes, perhaps, in a bracket.
You can also play against you, absolutely, because you cannot. Everybody has a game, at least a game that's not going their way once and for all. You look at Brazil, not performing for 90 minutes. If that's that 1 game, they don't get that second chance to qualify.
4 minutes
important.
Left. And they have gone to that 4 in the back, as you pointed out, with the 2 holding midfielders. So a 6-man defense looking to strike on the counter. Peru's had a few chances to put this one away. Ball launched in, bounces over Mendez, cleared with an acrobatic launch by Ortiz. Of course, the one point to point out is if Brazil scores a goal, Peru would still advance. The danger for them is if they score and then score again. Driven just over that corner, Igor Julião unleashes a cannon, and Campos wouldn't have had it.
Oh, what a strike this is from Julião, breaking forward. Wonderful opportunity.
Looks like they say he did get a finger to it. And now Doria coming up. It's almost time to bring up the keeper at this point. They just need 1 to get to a draw with Ecuador, 2 to advance. An outswinger to the edge of the 6, glancing header, and it carries through. Chested across by Araujo. Brazil had no one at the back post.
Well, what an opportunity that was for Brazil to get on the score sheet, and chances are starting to appear in between this Peruvian defense. Very tired looking.
Mateus, an outswinger, drives it low, glancing header. Benavente takes the pressure off. 1 man downfield. Looks like it's Flores. Now played all the way back to the Almeida. It will not reach the 18. He'll clear it upfield. Kept in by Mateus. Maybe a chance for Brazil. Mendez. He's got help on the outside in Adrian. Jamilson fights for it. Mendez. Adrian fakes, tucks, blocked away. Peeling for a handball. And they're not going to get it. Dangerous from Julião. Desperation, all hands on deck. Back post, Adrian. Mateus denied. Campos down quickly.
Oh, another opportunity for Brazil, and Peru need to get bodies back. Here's a look at that strike as well from Julião, and it was contact made from the goalkeeper as Campos clears it. The chances few and far between for Brazil. We're going into the closing stages. They're in full control of this game. Peru need to be careful. Get numbers behind the ball.
And again, Ecuador is the team that's wishing they could stick their 11 out there with Peru. If Brazil scores, their qualification is in question. Deza, but it was Flores unable to get the ball away in time. Deza had the booster rockets already going.
Well, he's trying to keep in an onside position so desperately.
And he was.
And that was very, very close. That's the wrong decision from the linesman.
Chance inside again, poked free. Mateus was on the ground as we hit the 90th minute. A goal keeps them alive. Luck, fate. But again, if they win it all, that won't matter. If this score holds, the defending champions are eliminated in the group stage. Bounces up. Campos comes down with it. Would not be surprised. A couple of injuries, the cramps, the substitutions. Could be 4, and maybe the champion's prerogative, even 5 minutes added on. Still some time, but it's running out. Into the corner. Smartly played, forcing Brazil to keep it in rather than get a goal kick. Misael for Adrian. Over the back, says the referee. But the referee disagrees with the assistant on the far side. Adrian hangs it in the air. Strong play by Araujo. Up steps Mansour and launched forward. Again, just getting it out of danger. Only 3 minutes. A bit surprising, but that's all Brazil has left.
Well, it's an absolute onslaught now from Brazil. Throw everybody forward. All you need is a bit of luck.
Skips under Mateus's boot. Out to Gomez. Chance for Benavente. 3-on-3 if they hurry. Flores wide. Deza launching it. Back post. Woodwork. Rebound. Goal! Peru clinching. Brazil eliminated. Flores, who's done the hard work, now a chance to take a bow.
Well, look at the pure joy and the pure ecstasy from the Peruvians, and it is wonderful football being played tonight. And in the closing stages, it's coming from both teams. But this is absolute genius from Peru. And it's a complete counter-attack, and deservedly so. You create your own luck, and that luck has deserted Brazil. But look at the skill. You go in a 3v3 situation, you're always going to get the opportunity to get your strike on frame. And that they do. It's a wonderful strike off the post. And there's your luck as Flores sweeps up the difference into the back of the net. Good night.
They had to throw everything into the attack. Brazil left vulnerable, and Peru finally closes the deal. The 3-time defending champions, the 11-time champions, are out, joining Argentina on the sideline. Unbelievable.
Well, they don't deserve it. You have to admit, Peru have been by far the better team tonight. They've played the better football. They've looked the more dangerous. They've got great energy. And the body language that we've seen from the Brazilians, so unfamiliar for wearing that yellow jersey. Unbelievable. But now's not the time to talk about Brazil going out. Now's the time to rejoice and think about the quality that Peru have brought to this competition. Absolutely fantastic.
Another foul and more time off the clock. Brazil, give them credit. They need 2 goals in these final 30 seconds. It's not going to happen. It's Peru. It's Benavente. Mansour comes back to take it away, and this well coming close to the final kick of the match. Since this tournament went to under 20, Brazil has finished in the top 4 every time. But not this time. They don't even make it out of the group stage. Peru wins the group. The champions dethroned.
Unbelievable. Pure ecstasy for the Peruvians, and deservedly so. Wonderful football being played. And to see Brazil and Argentina being knocked out of the competition for their own countries, A desperate situation. But what a way to finish for Peru. Absolutely fantastic and deservedly win the game 2-0.
Dating back to the very first championship, youth championship in South America, 1954. Never have both Brazil and Argentina not finished in the Final Four. And from an Argentine perspective, that last win against Colombia gives them the one mark of Brazil finishing dead last. But regardless, both teams eliminated. Peru 2, Brazil nothing. Peru on to the final round.
The Spanish League begins its second half of the season on beIN Sport. Valencia seems to have recovered its shape. After 3 wins in a row, they are looking to reach the European Cup zone. They host Real Madrid, who is far away from the leader Barcelona and needs to get a win to regain their confidence. Valencia, Real Madrid, Sunday, only on beIN Sport.